has an eye on the bullpen. See, during the regular season, he didn't walk the leadoff batter very often. Orlando Merced will hold against the runner. And the batter will be Terry Pendleton. Pendleton with only 4 base hits. Smiley gets ahead on the count.
Our managers are going to manage this evening. The early innings were late innings. Both Bobby Cox and Jim Leland with 9 or 10 pitchers available.
And that's foul past first base. And strike 2 to Terry Pendleton.
That is including the starting pitcher. The only 2 pitchers that are not available to both clubs tonight. Doug Drabeck, who started last night, and there's Doug. Steve Avery, who started last night's game. They're not available to pitch, but there's a slot in the statistics on the statistics sheet called others, and others will be in there. There's Avery.
Lead off walk to Lonnie Smith, and he counts to Pendleton. That ball is foul. Foul ball.
I think Pendleton broke his bat. Yep, he's going back for new wood, and this ball just foul. It hits foul on the first hop, and Merced, by the time he recovers, catches it in foul territory.
And Pendleton returns to the plate. Smith has 1 stolen base in this playoff. And he draws the throw.
Smiley does not have a good move to first base. This might be his best one. Very average move to first base.
Pendleton stays up there. A lot warmer tonight than it was last evening here. Smiley has walked Lonnie Smith. No balls, 2 strikes to count on Terry Pendleton. Third base coach.
Lonnie Smith with 9 stolen bases during the season. He was caught 5 times. But he should be able to get a good jump off John Smiley. LaValliere, a very quick release as a catcher.
Count goes to 2-2 to Pendleton.
After 7 straight fastballs to Pendleton, LaValliere calls for the changeup and then makes a nice block on the ball and keeps it in front.
This game is likely to be played at a snail's pace here this evening. So much important riding on every pitch. Send Lonnie on the 2-2 count. LaValliere sneaking a peek into the dugout. Biggest game of his life. Said playing first tonight. Will be back It's off the glove, and there goes Lonnie Smith to third. First and third, and nobody out. Despite his range, leaned, couldn't get it. In fact, probably would be better off had he not touched the ball.
Pendleton led the National League in hitting this year with a .319 average, but only his 5th hit in the series. And I've got a feeling that the Pirate bullpen is going to get up and get busy right now. There's a lot of buzzing around going on down there as Lonnie Smith walks into third, and the Braves threatening early.
First and third, and nobody out. And Bob Walk is starting to warm up, and Randy Tomlin, the left-hander, will join him. Hitting for Atlanta, as Jim Leland looks on, is Ronnie Gant. He's had a half dozen hits against the Pirates. Watches it go low.
Infield and double play depth. And the third baseman, Steve Buechele, does have the option if the ball hits low. He can't come home with the ball.
2 balls, no strikes. And the hole is getting deeper for the Pirates. As you see, Gant 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Scored the winning run after getting walked in the 9th inning last night. Stole second, road home run to base hit by Greg Olson. The Pirates would give up a run for a double play. Popped him up foul and out of play. 2-1.
The way some of these games have gone during this League Championship Series, a double play ball to score a run would be a big rally. There have been 3 1-0 ball games. The first time in postseason play, 137 postseason series, and the first time there have been 3 1-0 games.
Pitching has been terrific.
Wow.
Including Draybeck, who lost here last night. He was sent in. Smiley trying to be sensational tonight. 2-2. And the Pirate left-hander could certainly use a strikeout. Schuster apparently rooting for Pittsburgh. Smiley won his last 7 at the end of the season, including 1 in relief. He was good down the stretch for the Pirates. Three and 2. Pendleton, the runner at first, is an average runner, having stolen 10 bases during the season. We'll see if they start him. Gant does strike out a lot.
Yeah, the runner at first base does not necessarily have to be fast on a 3-2 count. It's dependent on whether the hitter puts the ball in play. I think he'll be running.
There he goes. A fly ball into left field at the track, and it's going to be caught by Bonds. A run scores. The throw into second. 1-0 Atlanta. He hit that ball with one hand and got it way out on the track.
Atlanta scored 4 runs against Smiley in Atlanta last Saturday in the first inning. And they have scored 1 here. Ron Gant. And that's that one hand that you were talking about, and that's how strong that young man is. Gant with 32 home runs this year, and that gives you an idea of how strong he is. The Atlanta Braves, their offense, have scored 7 runs in the first inning, 9 in all other innings. And remember, they led the National League this year with runs in the first inning with 124.
And of course, a lot of that had to do with Otis Nixon being in the leadoff spot. Atlanta. Now they play David Justice to pull 1 on, 1 out. On the corner, Ray Miller, the pitching coach of the Pirates, paid a visit to the mound after the run scored. There he is. And those pitchers we showed you earlier are cooling it a little bit in the bullpen. One and one. Justice 5 of 22 with 1 home run in postseason. First inning for John Smiley. The crowd quarrels with the call by Doug Harvey, but he is pretty much a hitter's umpire, wouldn't you say, Tim?
He makes the pitcher throw strikes. First and third and nobody out. If Smiley can get out of this half inning with only 1 run being scored, he will have pitched out of something and a psychological boost for the Pirates.
Big swing by Justice. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I think this entire game is going to go along at this pace this evening. Game 7. Templeton the runner at first. For Smiley is his first. That's the second out of the inning.
Fastball on the outside corner to David Justice. I tell you, it's tough to hit against a pitcher who isn't throwing strikes. I mean, he throws ball 1, ball 2. He walks the leadoff batter. He gets 2, 3, and 2 counts on the next 2 hitters, and then he paints the outside corner against David Justice.
It brings up Brian Hunter. Two out. Into the corner, and is it going to stay fair? It is a home run, and it's 3-0. 3 in the first for Atlanta. And look at that Pirate bench.
Year, but he hit them in 272 at bat. And does he ever put a charge into this one?
It just did stay fair. The batter is Greg Olson. Olson has had the most hits of any Atlanta player in the postseason. In the hole, another hit. There have been a walk and 3 hits in the inning. And Tim, I know that Jim Leland would really hate to go get Smiley at this stage of the game.
Well, why?
Well, I mean, he doesn't want to embarrass him, and he was knocked out early in the second inning, but here he comes, whether he likes it or not.
John Smiley lasting only 2 innings in game 1, and now only 2/3 of an inning right now, but now this is no time for feelings. And Bob Walk's going to come in the game.
3 hits in the inning. Chases John Smiley. The 3 hits include this.
Those runs coming on a 2-run homer by Brian Hunter. Looking fastball, getting it, and it's just a matter of whether it's fair or foul. big blow against John Smiley.
Smiley is giving away to Bob Law. And a swing and a miss by Mark Lemke with 2 out in the opening inning. But don't dismiss this Pirate club. They're terrific at home. They won more games than anybody else in baseball during the regular season. And some of their hitters who have not been hitting still have the opportunity. Bell gets force out just in time. He gets the final out. 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 left for Atlanta. In the first, knocked out John Smiley, and John Smoltz goes to the hill with that lead. Here is the lineup for these Pirates who are just waiting to explode. The first baseman and leading off is Orlando Merced. Gary Bell at short. Andy Van Slyke in center. Bobby Bonilla in right. Barry Bonds in left. Steve Buchel at third. Mike LaValliere behind the plate, and the number 8 hitter is Jose Lima. Walk will try to hold the Braves in check and hope that his teammates can manufacture some offense. You remember the game Saturday in Atlanta? Merced hit the very first pitch of the game against John Smoltz right out of the ballpark. And Orlando is 1 for 5 in postseason. Catches the corner, strike 1.
I'll tell you, if John Smoltz was tight, he's not now. 3 runs to work with here in the bottom of the first. He didn't have that in Atlanta.
Off-speed pitch and strike 2 on the hitter. Merced, Bell, and Van Slyke.
First time this season that John Smiley has been knocked in the first inning.
So the Braves have chased a 20-game winner and a heck of a pitcher. The set up to middle. Andrea Joyce is with us, and she has something for us now.
All right, Jack, as we mentioned earlier in this series, John Smoltz's dramatic second-half turnaround is directly related to his meetings with sports psychologist Jack Llewellyn. Now, since Llewellyn has never seen Smoltz lose, it was important to both of them that he be here tonight. So, Llewellyn, the last-minute travel plans, ironed his lucky red shirt, had arrived in Pittsburgh this afternoon. After a pregame meeting with Smoltz, he said that Smoltz is right where he needs to be psychologically, and Llewellyn is right where he needs to be, behind home plate, where hopefully Smoltz can see him. Back upstairs to you guys.
Thank you, Andrea. He looks more nervous than the pitcher. There is Mr. Llewellyn right by that radar gun. The base hit by Merced has these Pirate fans alive. Bells it out. And it's ball 2. Tommy Sant coaching at first. And Merced wants to talk with the coach, wants to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes.
Jack Llewellyn, the psychologist, can't talk to John Smoltz about how to approach a ball game, but he can't do anything about 0-2 fastballs right down the middle. And that's what Smoltz gave Merced. An 0-2 fat fastball, which was a mistake. And John could pay for it.
Bell has 10 hits in both seasons. Ball 3. These Pirates are going to get all the support they need from this crowd. And Bobby Cox, although leading 3-0, has got to be wondering how much stuff, good stuff, his pitcher has.
Andrea talking about his second half turnaround. Smoltz was 2-11 in the first half, 12-2 since the All-Star break, and 8-1 since August the 1st.
3 balls and a strike.
This is the turnaround that we were talking about and that Andrea mentioned. Look at the earned run average in the first half compared to the earned run average in the second half.
Another hit.
Bell. Jay Bell now with 11 hits in the series.
And it brings the tying run to the plate with nobody out. Andy Van Slyke. He was in a spot last night to try to win it for Pittsburgh and really had some good swings. But in the end, struck out. Ball one from Smoltz. Andy Van Slyke, Bobby Bonilla, and Barry Bonds are a combined 0 for their last 30 with men on base. Pirates have to start hitting. One strike. What will he do tonight? Barry Bonds. One and one to Andy.
Like a devastating low ball hitter. And one of the problems with John Smoltz earlier in the year, his pitches were down. Greg Olson telling us before his last start that his most effective fastball was up in the strike zone.
Did he hit it? Caught up against the fence by Hunter. Merced tags, and Justice made the catch, and Merced goes to third. And Slyke came within a whisker.
Looking fastball, he gets a fastball, and in this heavy air, one would have to think that earlier in the year, this might be a home run. Not in October. Justice against the padding. Watch Van Slyke, his reaction going past first.
He thought he had something. Here's Bonilla. There's a ball. First and third, one out. I'm sure that felt good to Van Slyke, and it looked good for a while. Bonilla has had a half dozen hits in postseason. Held up. Ball two. Eric Gregg on the half swing. Merced is perched at third. And Jay Bell at first. And held by Hunter. So there's hitting room for him through the right side and in the goal. Pocket to the second baseman. Second out of the inning. And this would really crush the Pirates if they fail to score in the first.
Could set the pattern for the whole game. That's exactly right. Hard to believe. 10,000 tickets went on sale this morning. And how in the world can you have a seventh game of the National League Championship Series and have about 7,000 people showing up as empty seats?
Here is Barry Bonds. If there was ever a time for him to break out of it, it is now. Smoltz gets ahead of the count. Bonds is 3 out of 23. And he battles John Smoltz. Another one, strike two.
That's that breaking ball on the outside on which hitters will give up. Watch how Bonds approaches, thinks it's outside, and it stays on the corner.
Bonds hasn't driven in a run in this entire playoff. Length Yastrzemski gets to it and goes to first, and after one, Atlanta leads by the score of 3-0. It was first and second and nobody out. They failed to score. With Atlanta on top by the score of 3-0. These fired outfielders simply have not been doing the job. There's Barry Bonds, Van Slyke, and Bobby Bonilla, and they are 0 for their last 33 with men on base in this series.
Over the last 2 postseasons, Barry Bonds 0 for 21. And the record, and boy, that's a bad record to hold. Gene Tennis, that was the year after Tennis was the MVP in the 72 series. Nettles, Jackson, Weiss, and Bonds, all 0 for 21.
Belliard with 1 to Bell. 1 gone in the second with Bob Walk doing the pitch. There's been a steady performer here in these 6+ games.
Yeah, the little guys have done it. Not that Jay Bell is a little guy, and that was 16 home runs this year. Merced's had his hits. Bell's had his hits. Buechele has had his hits. LaValliere with a game-winning hit. It's the middle 3. Bonilla's had a pretty good series, but not clutch situations.
John Smoltz with a bat in his hands. Bob Walk in relief of John Smiley. And 1-1. Smoltz started off like he was going to be a pretty good hitter. He's a big fella. But they caught up with him. He's had 7 hits this year. Walk chases him away. 2 balls and a strike. And Walk will do that. You can't be assured that that was an accident, that inside pitch. Now the count goes to 3-1. He walked the pitcher with 1 out. This Sunday on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time, join Greg, Terry, Leslie, and Pat for all the latest NFL news and information. A special look at one of the league's top running backs, Barry Sanders. Terry will be joined by John Madden for a mid-season review of the biggest surprises and disappointments thus far. The NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern this Sunday. The last word before kickoff. We'll see if the 49ers can stop the Detroit running game and stop Barry Sanders. Lonnie Smith started this game with a walk and scored a run. Smoltz at first, 1 out. To the first baseman. And Merced takes the certain put out. 2 gone. Smoltz advances. A couple of close items in this game, Tim. The home run by Hunter and the fly ball by Van Slyke.
Well, the home run by Hunter, a big hit. It was a 2-out home run, and that was after Smiley had runners at first and third and nobody out. He got the sacrifice fly, and then he got the justice with the strikeout, and Hunter with the 2-out, 2-run homer. That, in my opinion, the big blow, and Van Slyke just got on top of his a little bit too much, and too much top spin.
And it was only a couple of steps from the right field fence with 2 on. Pendleton is up with 2 out, and Smoltz running bases. Don't be too sure he would score on a base hit by Pendleton. Pirate outfielders can throw, notably Bonds and Van Slyke. Ball 1. Bob Walk was on the disabled list at one time this season, and he ended up winning 9 and losing 2. Used to pitch for the Braves.
Traded to Atlanta back in 1982 for Gary Matthews. Walk initially with the Philadelphia Phillies.
He changed up on Pendleton, 1-1.
Bob Walk, by the way, with World Series experience 11 years ago. He won game 1 of the World Series. The only World Series the Philadelphia Phillies have ever won, beating Kansas City in 6 games.
One ball, 2 strikes to the Atlanta third baseman. First inning took forever with Atlanta compiling a 3-0 lead. Pendleton to lead. And Atlanta doesn't score in the second. They have left 2 lead 3-0.
Once again, Buick is raising the banner.
All half of the second inning. 3-0 Braves. Roger Mason gets ready down in the Pirate bullpen, right field corner. Pitcher is due to bat 4th in this inning for the Bucks. And that is Steve Buechele. 7 hits in the playoff, including 5 consecutive hits to tie a record. Smoltz misses.
Steve Buechele, the big trade in the latter part of August, coming from the Texas Rangers. One of the young pitchers, Hector Fajardo, fine prospect, and you might think, well, why did Texas get rid of Buechele? The big reason is they had Dean Palmer, a youngster who was playing in the outfield. They wanted him to play third, and they thought they were going to lose Buechele to free agency at the end of the season anyway.
2-2. And those Texas fans might enjoy the work of Fajardo in the years ahead. Saw him pitch one time this year, and he can throw hard. Buechele is out on strikes.
Well, the playoffs are things that players dream of, or do they? We talked to Bobby Bonilla before the game, and here's what he had to say.
You've been about this for quite a while, you know, and you never really think it's going to take place, and now I'm actually going to play in one, you know, that could end the season, or you can possibly participate in 7 more. You know, like I said earlier, you know, you play 6 months for 2 or 3 weeks of hell, and it's exciting.
And enjoyable, but it could be more enjoyable for the Pirates than it is at the moment. The ball year is up. Ball 1, ball 2.
It's going to be 7 for one team after tonight.
Higher 1 for 3. Was a pinch hit that won the game in extra innings. Atlanta spins away from ball 3.
I think it's imperative that the Pirate left-handed hitters do the job on Smoltz if they're going to win. John Smoltz, the toughest pitch this year against right-handed hitters in the major leagues. He held right-handers to only a 182 average. So if they're going to get him, probably they'll have to do it with the left-handers.
A walk to Meyer. Pittsburgh left 2 on at first, and they have 1 on the second. First by Smoltz. Cox hates to see that walk. They indicate to the first baseman, Brian Hunter, that they'll play behind LaValliere. And here's Leaned. He's had 4 hits in postseason. a little, and a strike is called.
Pittsburgh carrying 11 pitchers. So they're starting 8 regulars, so they have 6 guys from whom to choose if Leland elects to go to a pinch hitter this early.
Lean hits it. What a stop by Pendleton. He got him for the out. That was spectacular. And had that ball gone by with the way Lonnie Smith was playing, that would have been a double and maybe an RBI.
And if this ball's in there, then Leland pinch hits for Bob Walk. But watch this play by Pendleton. 3-time Gold Glover, and that's why. He looks at second, throws to first. Brilliant play by Terry Pendleton.
Now the pitcher is up. Walk. Walk drove in runs this year. Fouls the ball. And he had a home run during the season. You're at second with 2 gone. Strike. That was not unusual for Pendleton to turn to his right and keep spinning in the same direction. He does that frequently.
Well, the dictated that he keep going with the spin move around to the right. Usually if you backhand it, you keep your feet, you end up turning to your left. But because he was on the ground, he just kept spinning around to his right to make the play.
Walk is in the hole. Pittsburgh stranded 2 in the opening inning. Seven more innings to go. Atlanta leads Pittsburgh 3-0.
Game 7 of the 1991 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers, the best hamburgers and a whole lot more. And by General Motors, GM is putting quality on the road.
Into the 3rd inning we go at Three River Stadium. Nothing lead for the Braves.
Today in the sports section of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, obviously the headline that the Braves forced the 7th game, but look at the note in the notes column. Atlanta became only the 3rd team in NLCS history to win the final 2 games on the road and claim the pennant.
That was this morning?
That was this morning, yes. Almost like it's in the astrology section.
I'd like to find a copy of tomorrow's newspaper sometime. I'd go right to the track. Brian Hunter popped the home run in the first with a man on and 2 out. Ron Gant leads it off, delivered a run with a sacrifice fly in the first. Ball 1 from Bob Walk, who's in there in relief of John Smiley. Walk takes a lot of time between pitches. He works at his pace. David Justice will bat next for the Braves. And he scored 3 and left 2. In there, 2 and 2. And at times might appear to be a little fellow when you look at him on television, but he is put together and he is strong. Strange 2.
Walk trying to drop down to run again. That last breaking ball. A lot of 3-2 count by the Pirate pitchers. Smiley first, and now Bob Walk.
And a base hit for Gant. That's the 4th of the night for the Braves. They were playing in the pull.
You mentioned earlier, Jack, about how Ron Gant swung at that first pitch on a sacrifice fly one-handed. He just puts the foot up, picks the left foot up, and puts it down, swinging at that ball one-handed, lacing it by Jay Bell. Sometimes when hitters have a problem overstriding, that's what they'll do. They'll just pick that lead foot up and put it back down, and that keeps them from overstriding.
David Justice is the hitter. Struck out his first time.
It's the most unusual thing we've seen so far, a smile. No smiles on the Pittsburgh side, however.
None. 5 out of 23 for Justice. And ball 1 to the Atlanta right fielder.
The only run scored by Atlanta in game number 1, a game in which Drabek and the Pirates beat Atlanta 5-1, was a home run by David Justice off Bob Walk. Walk with a save in game 1. Justice hit a curveball in the 9th inning, way out of here.
And they call a balk on Bob Walk. First base umpire Frank Pulley called the balk, and Bob Walk doesn't argue about it.
That is a move where the pitcher puts his weight on the left leg and then he spins. And when you put weight on your left leg, in the judgment of the umpire, often they think that constitutes going home with the ball. You saw Gant lean towards second, and Balk didn't quibble about that, or Walk didn't quibble about that ball.
And the batter, Justice, takes ball 2. With a runner at second and nobody out.
When you've been, if you're a right-handed pitcher and you bend that left leg, then you're in effect supposed to go home. Walk bent the left leg and then pivoted toward first, and that's why it was a balk.
At the time you were playing, Tim, Don Drysdale was doing that.
First one I remember doing that. Two-0 slider from Walk to Dave Justice.
Leadoff man on at second base. Out of play, 2-2. Brian Hunter looking forward to his second time at bat in this game. Roger Mason warms up along with Randy Tomlin, the left-hander. Bob Walk would use his strikeout. Justice wants to advance the run. Into the left center and deep enough. The runner tags. Bonds with a catch. Gant's at third with 1 out.
In the first inning, with Terry Pendleton at first base and 2 outs, John Smiley, the starter, thought he was out of it. But the first pitch to Brian Hunter, right in the zone. And he hits it to another zone.
Atlanta had already scored when Hunter touched it off. Now the Pirate infield comes in with Gant, a good winner at third, and 1 out. get some more runs. Popped him up for the second out with Merced. Foul ball, 2 gone. Big put out. Gant still at third. And the batter, Greg Olson. His walk is a cagey performer, Jim. He knows how to pitch.
Been around a long time. When he was sent back to the minor leagues back in 1984 for Hawaii, had a good year over there. And he's been with Pittsburgh since '85.
Ball 1 to Olson.
Greg Olson has had a terrific series. As a matter of fact, he leads players on either side with RBIs, 4 RBIs on the series, and the game winner last night, a double in the 9th inning to drive in Ron Gant, and Atlanta won it 1-0.
He was a good clutch hitter during the month of September and in the early days of October. Now the play.
You saw that 373 with runners in scoring position. That was second in the National League to Dave Magadan of the New York Mets.
He's 3 for 3 in this series in those same situations. Walk with 2 out. Gets 1 in there. 1 and 2. Pittsburgh will have the top of the order up in their third. And at third, 2 out. Just missed low, 2 and 2. Talked about this umpire before, Doug Harvey. He won't give the pitchers much. Not as a liberal some. Three and 2. Scored 3, left a man in the second. And 1 on, 2 out here. Into center field, Van Slyke on, he's there. And the score still 3-0. We'll return to River Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
3-0 Atlanta here in the bottom of the third. This is what we were talking about with that balk. Watch the left knee of Bob Walk. Watch him bend it, put his weight on it, and then go to first. See, once he bends that knee, he's committed to go home. And that spin move, clearly a balk, and it was called properly by Frank Pulley. First base umpire, and even base runners are seeing that leg bend and knowing he should go home.
Top of the order for Pittsburgh. Merced held up, ball 1. Orlando got a base hit up the middle his first time. He's 2 for 6. It is almost inconceivable that this Pirate club is going to continue to be shut down here in their home park. Ball 2 from Smoltz.
The one thing they have to guard against now is trying to come back too soon, trying to get too many too fast.
Strike. Pittsburgh has stranded 3 while being shut out. 2.
Similar to a football team that's down 20 points at halftime and coming out and only going for long bombs. You know, the defense isn't going to give you that, nor is Smoltz going to give the Pirates offense anything like that either.
keep trying to do your thing. Into left center. Called for by Gant. 1 out. John Smoltz trying to win his second game of this playoff against Pittsburgh. There is his personal psychologist, Dr. Jack Llewellyn. He said John Smoltz said they just visited, talk it over like good friends. I guess they had become that. There is 1 out and a strike to Jay Bell, who singled his first time.
I think every pitcher, every batter has their own ways of getting ready for a ball game, but certainly that psychologist has helped John Smoltz. Whatever works for you.
Whatever it takes.
I remember Steve Carlton used to lie on the training table in the clubhouse for about 20 minutes before he pitched. And what he would try to do is image the inside and outside lanes of the plate.
Strike three to Jay Bell. And the third strikeout for the Atlanta Hurler.
Evidently, the imagery that John Smoltz is using, nasty curveballs, well, that was a real downer to Jay Bell. A lot of pitchers think that thought precedes the action. Guys like Carlton, if you think about the inside and outside parts of the plate, you're less inclined to throw it down the middle of the plate.
That's the 9th time Bell has struck out in this series. Here's strike one to Van Slyke. We're lined out to right field in the first with 2 on.
Bad news for the Pirates.
Tough customer ordinarily. John Smoltz to very deep center field. Gant has it under control. Down go the Pirates in order in the third. We played 3 and the Braves lead 3-0. Key 4 out of 18. To the second baseman leaned. Out by plenty. 4 in a row retired by Bob Walk, and he's doing a good job of holding the Pirates in it.
Entering the game with 2 out in the first inning. Relieving John Smiley. It's a funny thing about Smiley. I mean, during the season, John Smiley, who was 20-8 on the year, gave up only 7 first-inning runs during the season. His 2 starts during the NLCS, he has given up 7 runs. 4 in his first game, 3 this time around.
Belliard held up, according to Frank Pulley. Off the elk, grounded to short his first time. And he put short for a long time for these Pirates. In and out of the lineup. And finally, Jay Bell chased Belliard to Atlanta. Breaking ball. 1 and 2. Resilient as the Pirates have been all year. They're going to make a move sometime during the course of this one.
It's going to be very, very difficult to get a big inning out of John Smoltz. As a matter of fact, the last 2 years, the Pirates have had a very difficult time scoring and having a big inning during any game.
Foul out of play by Smoltz.
Have to go back to 1979 before you see that the Pirates have scored more than 2 runs in any inning in postseason play. They have gone 128 innings without scoring more than 2 runs per inning. Look at the Dodgers from 1960 to 1987. They went 165 consecutive innings postseason play without scoring more than 2 runs an inning. But the Pirates are going to do it. They're going to do it against the tough right-hander, Smoltz.
Meanwhile, Walk is working the top of the 4th with 2 out. Six in a row by Bob Walk. He is certainly keeping Pittsburgh in it. 3-0 Atlanta in the home of the inning.
Llewellyn, the psychologist for Atlanta, pitching Smoltz. We heard you get paged in the 2nd inning, and we thought maybe somebody was playing a joke on you, trying to get you away from your seat so that Smoltz didn't see you. Is that the case?
No, I just got an answering service today. I called to tell me they saw me on TV, so it's a pretty significant call.
You're becoming pretty famous. You had told us last week that you felt it was very important for him to stay even with his emotions. Does he seem like he is today?
He is. I mean, you know, the first 2 guys got hits, and he recovered well, and he looks really comfortable now, really smooth.
All right, thank you very much. Next time I'm in a slump, I'm going to call you as well. Let's go back upstairs.
So they'll probably call the doctor again. Tell him they saw him on television again. Here's Bonilla leading off, hitting a foul, even the count 1-1. It's been a delight to have Andrea Joyce here with us on our telecast of this playoff. Now we have to trade Andrea Joyce for Jim Cott and Pat O'Brien. Sort of. Those folks will join us in Minneapolis. The World Series commences Saturday night at the Metrodome at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Pat O'Brien hosting the show with Tom Lasorda. Pittsburgh needs some runners and some runs. That's foul, and it's 2-2.
I don't think anybody knows the Atlanta Braves any better than Tommy Lasorda, and that's not to say the Braves are going to be in it. He knows both the Braves and the Dodgers well, and the Pittsburgh Pirates, I should say. The Dodgers winning 7 of 12, and over the last month and a half, it was just a matter of whether the Dodgers or the Braves would face the Pirates.
Bonilla 2, the first baseman. Hunter 2, Smoltz 1 out. And Bonilla is 0 for 2. And our Jim Cott knows the winds like the back of his hand.
Clinching last Sunday in Toronto, winning 3 games on the road to do it.
Barry Bonds is up. He grounded to second his first time. He's had 3 out of 24.
And if Atlanta wins tonight, they will have won 3 games on the road to do it. They won game 2 last night, trying to win here tonight.
Strike to Barry, 1-1. He talks to the plate umpire, Doug Harvey. And Harvey doesn't hesitate to answer back.
Postseason play. He had none last year, and it's his first one this year.
And he resides at second with 1 out. And Bouchel pops it up. Hunter wants it for the second out. 2 gone. But Pittsburgh is stranded 3. And they're going to need a 2-out hit here.
Barry Bonds 0 for 15 in this series with runners on base and 4 for 10 with the bases empty. Can't accentuate too much that the Pirates just have not picked up the runners on base.
It's up to LaValliere now. 2 out. Hard strike from Smoltz. LaValliere walked his first out. He could put Pittsburgh on the board. From a deep second base. Lemke in the dirt. Save!
It looked like Hunter may have stayed on the bag, but I think he smothered the ball. I don't believe he had control. Lemke, and you call it right, Jack, from deep right or deep second base, it looks like Hunter smothered the ball. Yep, it comes up, hits him in the chest, and he did not have control when LaValliere touched first base. I think it's going to be a throwing error on Mark Lemke. At second base, and the throw is low. I don't know why Lemke was that deep. LaValliere doesn't run well.
Lemke gets the unassisted force out. Pittsburgh leads 2. They've stranded 5. They still haven't scored, and they trail 3-0.
The doctor a cough. You have to keep up with the latest medicine for your family.
Atlanta after 4. Brian Hunter may have hurt his thumb on this play. The short hop, actually an in-between hop, and then he falls on that thumb, and he has the hot water bottle. I guess normally you'd be putting ice on that thumb. It's so cold tonight, he's opting for the hot water bottle, and that's a very important hand because this was during the commercial. The trainer checking the left thumb of Brian Hunter, and that's the most important one as far as his hitting is concerned, because that's the hand over which he rolls, the bottom hand.
5th inning now, and Lonnie Smith a foul ball on the play. Bob Walk has 3 1/3 scoreless innings under his belt. Smith has walked, scored 0 for 1. Bob Walk is due to lead it off in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we have Bill Landrum warming up, along with the left-hander Bob Patterson. Walk has done well. Deals with the of the order. 1-2.
Lonnie Smith 0 for his first 10 in the series, but since that time, he's 6 for his last 12. How you doing, guy? Lonnie with 2 doubles last night. He has 14 doubles in postseason play.
He's trying to get to his 4th World Series with his 4th different team. 3-2. Pointed out before, it's difficult to chase this batter off the plate. Got him. Strikeout for Bob Walk is his 2nd, and he's retired 7 in a row. The Pirate relief hurler has been terrific.
This pitch may have been out of the strike zone to Lonnie Smith. Looked like a slider. Probably low, but close enough to swing at and Ronnie down on strikes.
Hamilton is 1 for 2, a similar run scored. That misses. That's a strike.
Terry Pendleton, a member of the St. Louis Cardinals back in 1987. He played in the League Championship Series against the Giants, but did not play in the World Series against the Twins. He was injured. Terry Pendleton, we mentioned, had led the National League in hitting. And you see his LCS average. Barry Bonds, on the other hand, a terrific year, and he's batting 160.
Timing is everything. 2-2 back. They really needed those gloves last night. A little better weather-wise this year. Temperature 50. Hamilton hits it as he was jammed by walk.
Pendleton didn't play in the '87 World Series. He did DH. He didn't play in the field. He batted only 7 times with the Cardinals. Had a groin pull that he hurt during the League Championship Series.
How about those Twins? 87 and a right back in 91, awaiting the winner of this game. That ball, what a great play by Merced. What a great play. That was a bad hop, and he stayed right with it.
Great reaction by Orlando Merced. A guy who has really improved his fielding, and that's that bad hop Jack was talking about. Fine play by Merced.
Walk was getting over there, but Merced took it himself for the second out. 8 in a row set down by a walk. And he gets ahead of Gant.
You know, walk has restored order. It's just a matter of whether the Pirates can score or not. We haven't yet.
And this fellow deserves a reward. Gant delivered a run with a fly ball on the first, and he singled. He's had 7 hits in the postseason. Two out in the inning. We'll have a pinch hitter to start the Pirate 5th. Our pitcher can carve you up, in and out, up and down, changing speeds. Doesn't blow people away, but he gets them out. He missed that. Walk has walked 1, fanned a couple, and allowed only 1 hit in 4 complete innings. Be careful here. Down and in, ball 4.
He's got to be more careful with Gant at first base. Gant was 6 stolen bases on the series. That is a National League Championship record, and you can look for him to run. Remember the last time he was at first base, walked, balked.
That's what Gant does with the left-handed batter up there and the first baseman holding against the runner. David Justice has struck out and fly to left. Up there with 2 out. And it got 3 in the first. None since then. Gant is going. The Flyers through. Saved! The umpire said he missed it. A sweet tag by Bell. The ball appeared to be there, Tim.
Tag was too early. Watch Jay Bell slap the tag there, but the hand's not there. And Gant safe. Good call by Dana DeMuth, the second base umpire. Here it is again. Bell straddling the bag. Now he kneels on the bag, and the sweep of the glove is too early. 7 stolen bases now for Ron Gant.
And Dana DeMuth called the play. So you're not going to trick me on television and show me missing the play. Now the runner at second, and Jim Leyland comes out. He may want the left-hander to deal with David Justice, the batter. Now that Gant is down at second base.
Either that, or he may ask Bob Walk if he wants to walk Dave Justice and pitch to Brian Hunter. I do not think Bobby Cox will make a move with Hunter and go for Sid Bream because the Braves have a 3-0 lead. You don't see that too often. There's Bobby Cox. You don't see Jay Bell make a mistake like that too often. He thought Ron Gant was closer than he was. He swept the glove down there, and Gant wasn't there.
He clearly missed it.
Yep, good call by Dave DeMuth.
They're going to continue to work to David Justice with 2 out. Ball 2. In the Pirate bullpen, Landrum, and the left-hander Patterson.
That last pitch looked like they were pitching around Dave Justice. That ball about 4 inches outside. You can tell by the way LaValliere sets up.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That extends his National League Championship record, and he's now 1 shy of the postseason record held Ricky Henderson of the Oakland Athletics.
Now ball 4 to the batter. 3rd walk given by Walk. 2 walks here with 2 out.
That's what Jim Leyland asked Bob when he went out there. Do you want to pitch to him or walk him? And Bob said, I'll pitch around him, and that's what he did, and they eventually walked him intentionally.
Well, we wonder if that left thumb is still bothering Brian Hunter. He hit the 2-run homer in the first with 2 out, and then he fouled out to first his next time up. Ball 1. 2 out trouble for Pittsburgh. They certainly can't afford to give Atlanta any more runs. Braves lead 3-0 in the 5th. Walk gets even in the count.
Brian Hunter rolls over on that left thumb, and that's why if you're the right one, it wouldn't be nearly as severe as it would his left thumb, because he rolls over on that when he swings.
That ball is fair. More runs for Atlanta. And an RBI double for Hunter, who's driven in 3 runs. 2 walks and a 2-out double.
After this game, they're going to have to change his name to Brian Big Game Hunter, because this is a big game. 3 RBIs, a 2-run homer, and now an RBI double. What a night already for Brian Hunter.
A tough night for Jim Leyland and the Pirates to this point. It's 4-0. And a strike to Olsen.
Evidently, his thumb's all right.
first run given up by Bob Walk. First three by John Smiley. Some Atlanta Brave fans in the up deck. They like what they see. Well, not too late for the Pirates. Bob Walk, it better get the third out soon in this fifth inning. Walk in, stolen base, intentional walk, just, and a double by Hunter. Two. Larry Reed is in the Pirate dugout. It's a tough evening thus far. Strike called, and it stays a 4-0 game. Atlanta's left 5, but they score an additional run in the fifth. Pittsburgh will start it off with a pinch hitter in the bottom of the inning. Down in the bullpen, Mason and Patterson. The Landrum had warmed up earlier. Bottom of the fifth. 4-0 Atlanta. 2-2. John Smoltz has struck out 3, walked 1, and allowed 3 hits. Pittsburgh is stranded 5. Put the first 2 on in the first inning, but did nothing. Then they left 2 in the fourth. Play off the bat of Espy.
John Smoltz clinched the division for Atlanta, and he's trying to clinch the pennant for Atlanta. The next last day of the season against the Houston Astros, Smoltz was the pitcher when Atlanta won, and the Dodgers lost at Candlestick Park, and that clinched it.
And a strikeout to start the Pittsburgh fifth.
I think it's worth recalling the graphic that we had up earlier. The Atlanta Braves are arriving in Atlanta. In their 25 years, they've never gone to the final 2 games. The Atlanta even won the division 2 years. They arrived in 1966. They've not gone to the championship game, nor had the Atlanta Hawks, nor did the Atlanta Flames from 1972 to 1980.
Ted Turner of the club looking on. Strike call to Merced. He's 1 for 2. And 2 out of 7. Pittsburgh can't get anything going here in their home park. 1-1. They're still to be reckoned with, though. We're only in the 5th. Smoltz falls behind.
Pittsburgh has not scored since the 8th inning of Game 1 in this ballpark. Hard to believe.
Into short left, and Lonnie Smith cruises to the line. Fair ball, and he makes the catch for the second out.
Pittsburgh winning Game 1 5-1, and then Steve Avery coming back and winning 1-0. And then the Pirates win 2 of 3 in Atlanta. And then Avery 1-0 last night, and it's John Smoltz with a 4-0 lead here in the 5th inning. So it's been 22 2/3 innings here in Pittsburgh that the Pirates have been brought by.
But they're big guys. We'll have a couple more cracks at it before this game is over. There are 2 out and a strike to Jay Bell. 1 for 2, and he possesses more hits in this playoff than anybody else with 11. Barry Bonds in the corner. And Boney in next to him. To the Bell. Barry Bonds frustrated. Gave the camera a little shove after we took the earlier picture of it. Over the head of Bell, a pitch that got away from Smoltz. 1 and 2.
Some pretty quick reactions by Jay Bell. It looked like a slider that backed up over the back of Jay Bell. Almost hit him in the back, and then it almost hit his bat.
He was pretty limber on that one. And a strikeout is the inning. That's the 5th of the game for both.
Talked about Barry Bonds earlier, slamming into the camera on the first baseline. We saw Andy Van Slyke earlier. Up and down. There's Steve Buechele, Andy, and even Jay Bell after striking out his last time. Well, good pitchers can have the frustrations mount.
That's the 10th strikeout for Jay in the playoff. And Roger Mason takes over on the mound. 3rd hurler of the night for Pittsburgh, and Mason has done good work. We start the visitors 6th with Lemke up there. It's the 3rd appearance in the playoff for Roger Mason. He got a save the other day in Atlanta. Picked him up mid-season. He was 3-2 and 3 saves for the Pirates. To Lemke.
Pirates with the best record in baseball. They won 98 games this year, and I think, you know, obviously favored in this series. But from a perception standpoint, they were favored not only because they were a good team this year, but because of what they did last year. Their frustrations, however, losing to the Cincinnati Reds last year in 6 games and trailing here in Game 7 4-0. A lot of that's carryover effect.
Lemke takes a walk. The leadoff walk is the first contribution by Roger Mason. Walks have hurt the pitchers tonight.
One could be case, Jack, that because of perception that the Pirates could win it this year, that there's a little extra pressure on Pittsburgh to win it.
We're considered the favorites going in. Find themselves tied at 3 games apiece and find themselves trailing in the 6th inning 4-0. Up is Belliard. Pitch out. Thought perhaps the hit run was on and the bunt was done.
That was a straight bunt. We saw Bobby Cox do that with Rafael Belliard in the 9th inning of Game 4. He is bunting. Not only, you don't usually see that with the pitcher coming up next after 8th place hitter bunt, but Lonnie Smith follows the pitcher. So if Smoltz can't do it, Cox is hoping Smith would.
Bunting in, but ball 2. There was a walk to Smith in the 1st, and Atlanta scored 3. There were 2 walks in the 5th, and Atlanta got their 4th run. He runs the bases. Belliard the batter, nobody out in the 6th. Now you're the catcher. Bunt is foul and out of play. Jimmy Williams down the line from the 3rd base coaching box. interpreting.
Only 6 members of the Atlanta Braves with postseason experience. The Pirates, on the other hand, have had 19 players of their 25-man roster in the postseason.
Belliard takes it high in a 3-1 count. Mason walked Lemke, 3-1 minutes better.
And Jim Leland telling us that's why he left Mason in that game on Sunday, was because he gave those strikes. Games like this change a pitcher like Mason. He'll be trying to get the fastball over with the count 3-1 to Belliard.
That's in there for a strike. An unusual grip on the ball. Mason. Bill Landrum starts to warm it up again along with the lefty Bob Patterson.
You know, that's just to start off. I mean, he's going to throw a fastball to Belliard. That's not a splitter right.
Runner going and a foul.
He's just trying to throw strikes. Often when pitchers just learn a pitch like that, they'll walk around with that ball stuck in between the forefinger and the middle finger. They do it just to get the feel of it, but under no circumstances will there be anything but a fastball here.
It's tough to eat like that, isn't it? Walking around with that ball stuck in there.
Well, they call them fork balls.
Runner going again and a hit from Belliard. Lemke goes to third and Van Slyke guns over there.
Well, the Pirates have not been able to turn it around offensively, but what they're trying to do with a throw like this is to stop them from adding on defensively. A remarkable throw by Andy Van Slyke. Now keep in mind that Mark Lemke was running on the play. And Lemke out at third base. If you're Lemke, you've got to try it. You can't go from first to third when you're running on the pitch. When can you go from first to third? That was a terrific throw by Van Slyke.
And it was such a good throw that the batter Belliard had to stay at first.
He hit it hard, and Van Slyke threw it hard. Watch how he charges the ball. Lemke had already passed in the foreground, and Van Slyke with a perfect throw to Steve Buechele to just get Lemke. Wow.
You don't see that very often. It seems like an automatic play with a runner going on the pitch and a base hit to center. Belliard's at first, and now Smoltz up there probably to bunt. Smoltz has walked and struck. Foul ball.
The other side of that play is you're saying if John Smoltz is going to bunt anyway, runners at first and second and nobody out, take a chance going to third base. I think he took the chance because he was running on the pitch. The play was in front of him. It took a perfect throw to get him. And that's what Van Slyke did. He made a perfect throw.
He just thought he'd cruise into third base, but Lemke was shocked and hurt. Smoltz gets another foul ball. And that's strike two. Harvey barked from up here.
That ball just foul. Smoltz with his bat in fair territory. And LaValliere taking no chances. He went ahead and tagged Smoltz and then looked towards second, but Belliard was standing on second.
Smoltz going to try it again. All one. Light hitting game, 6 for Atlanta. Only 3 for the Pirates. Mason in his first inning work. gets this one down, and LaValliere goes to first. 2 out. Lean took the throw.
I mean, Smoltz laid down a blueprint with a count of ball and 2 strikes. It was either a slider or a cut fastball on the outside part. And watch how not only the direction is right, but look how he deadens the ball. Perfect bunt by Smoltz. In order to bunt properly, you catch the ball with the bat. And that's exactly what Smoltz does. You see how he gives the ball? When the ball hits the bat, gives a little bit, and that's how he deadens it. Perfect bunt by John Smoltz.
Now at the plate, Lonnie Smith walked to start the game and score a run. And he grounded out and struck out. 6 out of 23. And he has no RBIs. The inside corner, strike 1. Belliard at second. We're in the 6th. 4-0 Atlanta. Belliard is so little. It looks like he's left over from a father-son game out here. But he can play. He has really helped the team this year. And Slight has it. They're going into the bottom of the 6th inning. And Van Slyke, who made that great play, is going to lead it.
And the Pirates' big 3. 8 RBIs. Now that's a combination of last year and this year. So you see what their big guns have been doing over the last 2 years. This is their 13th game. They lost in 6 last year. And this, of course, game 7. And they trail 4-0.
Need some runners, they need some runs. Van Slyke has lined out to right and lined out to center. In the first inning with 2 on, he came within about 10 feet of a game-tying homer. Boney is on deck. Barry Bonds will follow. Pittsburgh has only 3 hits. Ball 2. Smoltz pitched around an error. The Atlanta hurler has walked 1. "12 outs away from a date with the Minnesota Twins are the Atlanta Braves. And Slyke to Hunter, to Smoltz, 1 out. 7 in a row by the Atlanta pitcher.
Natural inclination here, you can't stress it too much, is to do too much. Going to the minds of those hitters, and all of them are trying to hit 4, grand slam home runs, 5-run homers. Just can't do it. And it's getting late.
Right at the right fielder, Justice out. And then he is out. The right field umpire made the call. He was taking the ball out of the glove. Let's take a look.
Technically, the rule says that you have to get the ball out of the glove with your bare hand. That's technically, but clearly, Dave Justice, he had it in his hand and then he dropped it in the throwing motion. The proper call, and no argument from Jim Leland.
So they have that umpire out there in the right field corner in this season. And Bruce made the call, and now ball 1-2. Bonds, his batting ace is empty. He'll tell you got it right. And Bonilla, the second out in the 6th. Is this a Pirate uniform? That is the way it's shaping up, although the big 3 will bat again before this one's over. Bonds fouls it away, 1-1. There he got a double his last time. He's 1 for 2. The big story is Smoltz, 8 in a row retired. To the shortstop. Short hop, Belliard. Now we have played 6. And Atlanta's on top, 4-0. Night in Minnesota. Hunter, the big RBI man for Atlanta. He's driven in 3 of their 4. And we're down to our final 3 innings. Pendleton leads it off. Roger Mason, the pitcher. And ball 1. Second baseman Lean stays with it. Close, 1 out.
Everybody talks about how baseball is a game of firsts. Brian Hunter has had a hit his first time up in every game that he started. He started 5 of the 7 games and has had a hit every game that he has started his first time up. And tonight was the coup de grace, 2-run homer.
He's 2 for 3 this evening and 6 out of 17 in postseason. Up is Gant, strike 1 to him. Roger Mason got into a bit of trouble in the 6th inning with a leadoff walk, but he pitched around it. Also gave up a hit. Out of play, strike 2. The World Series tickets are sold out. But as of tonight, there are some empty seats for Game 7. And in a right center, Van Slyke on his horse. And he caught it. What a great play by Andy Van Slyke for the second out. He can play center field like few others.
And had he missed that ball, that'd be an inside the park home run for Ron Gant because nobody was behind Van Slyke. 2 consecutive innings and 2 terrific plays by Van Slyke. You see Bonilla sliding behind Andy. And had he dropped that ball and that ball's behind him, Ron Gant runs all night. There it is right there.
Look like they're breakdancing out there. Boy, he can play center field.
Gant was at second base when that catch was made, and had it gotten by him, he probably gets an inside the Parker.
I'm with you on that one. There is Gant. 0 for 2 for David Justice with a walk. 1 ball, 1 strike. This Pirate pitcher, Roger Mason, had his day in the sun recently with a save in the playoff. Ball's fair and fielded by Merced. And another scoreless inning under the belt of Roger Mason. And now it's 7th inning stretch time.
Game 1, 5-1 behind Steve Avery. Atlanta won game 2. They moved to Atlanta. Atlanta wins the first game 10-3, and then it was Pittsburgh 3-2 and nothing. And then last night, Steve Avery once again winning 1-0. I think there have been 3 turning points, 2 of them concerning Steve Avery. Game 2 and game 5. Game 6 last night.
Now we're in the bottom of the 7th. 4-0 Atlanta. There's Avery. And there's Buechele. And the Pirate fans ask him to give them a lift. Give him a start. He's in the hole 1-2.
Pittsburgh wins game 1. Then Avery comes back and wins 1-0. And then Atlanta wins big. And another turning point for Pittsburgh, winning that 10-inning game 3-2. And then winning behind Zane Smith 1-0. But again, it was Avery last night.
And strikeout for Smoltz. He is rapidly becoming a big story in this playoff. He has retired 10 in a row.
The countdown is 8. 8 outs are needed by John Smoltz for Atlanta to go to the final championship round, the first time in that city's history.
Into center field, and it is a base hit. A base hit for LeVailleur in front of, and good hustle by the second base umpire.
On a ball hit by Gary Barstow last night to lead off the ninth, a ball hit off the heel of the glove by Ron Gant. And now Ron Gant catching the ball clearly on the short hop, and Mike LeVailleur has a one-out hit. First hit for the Pirates since the 4th inning.
And only their 4th hit of the night. Now Lean looks at a strike. 1 on, 1 out in the 7th. Lean is 0 for 2. Strike. During the regular season, Smoltz had 5 complete games and no shutouts.
It's funny what the Atlanta Braves saw in John Smoltz. He was 11 and 18 for the Detroit Tigers. 2 years in the minor leagues. Traded for Doyle Alexander in 1987.
Good breaking ball, 1 and 2. Saw that Atlanta bullpen. It's quiet out there. They're counting on their current pitcher. They sit and watch and wait and hope. To beat short. They got a force out on LeVailleur. Anybody else, that would have been a base hit.
And when you're down 4-0, there's no way you can for LeVailleur. Look at the dive by Pendleton and watch the play. LeVailleur out of step at second base. Mark Lemke looked like he'd given up on the play. It looked like there's no way that Belliard was going to make a play, but somehow he did. What it means a long way to his right. Lemke becomes a first baseman down there, making sure of one and stretching as first baseman does.
Pitch here with 2 out is Curtis Wilkerson. Foul ball 1. Wilkerson is batting for Mason. And we are in the 7th inning with 2 out. Game's slipping away from the Pirates. And a foul ball, strike 2. And a 7 more outs to go. Roger Mason had 2 scoreless innings, allowing 1 hit and a walk. Wilkerson took it 1 and 2. Wilkerson looking for his first hit of postseason. He's 0 for 3. And the strikeout ends the 7th inning. For Smoltz, his 7th strikeout. The Pirates have left 6 for the nothing after 7. Of the 8th inning, we look back at the Hunter home run with 2 out in the first. John Smoltz has blanked the Pirates on only 4 hits through 7. Pittsburgh has left 6.
John Smiley, the starting pitcher, thought he was out of it, but with Terry Pendleton at first and 2 outs, Brian Hunter, a rookie. He started 64 games this year. And then in the 5th inning, 2 on, 2 out. Again, Hunter. So 3 guys tonight with 2 outs. 3 of the 4 given in by Brian Hunter.
That Smoltz has been great, Tim.
Talk about the accentuation on youth. John Smoltz only 23 years old. Hunter 25. a very young Atlanta ball club.
But in the 8th, he'll be facing the top of the Pirate batting order, and he'll have to go through the big guys one more time in order to win it. Now it's stand for the Pirates, their third hurler against Brian Hunter. Boy, another big swing.
Actually, Hunter the same age as Smoltz, 23. Steve Avery, 21.
Linda has a victory in postseason. 7-5 during the year with 16 saves. Off the end of the bat into short left. And Bell gives way to Bonds, who makes the catch. Hunter 2 for 4, but 2 big hits. That's the first out in the 8th. Belinda following Smiley, Walk, and Mason to the mound. And he will deal with the Atlanta catcher, Greg Olson. Olson 1 for 3. Breaking ball, strike. Olson has had some big hits in this series, totaling 8 base hits in the playoff. The Braves are trying to focus on a dream, coming from last to first, leading in this decisive game, and we're in the 8th inning. Big swing by Olson. 1 and 2.
Tell you, this man is focused on a dream. 7.5 years in the minor league, signing as a minor league free agent for Atlanta. The game-winning hit last night, driving in the only run of the game in the 9th inning, driving in Ron Gant after Gant had stolen second, and Olson doubled.
2 and 2. These Pirates are in a tough spot. They managed only 4 hits, and they're down by 4 in the 8th. 3 and 2. Sid Bream played for the Pirates last year against Cincinnati in postseason. Signed as a free agent with Atlanta, and he helped them considerably, and the Pirate bench is quiet. It'll come to life in the bottom of the inning. Top of the order will be up. It stays 3 and 2, 1 out.
Greg Olson, probably the only guy on either team who is going to the World Series regardless of what happens tonight. From Edina, Minnesota, about 20 minutes from the Metrodome does he live. Obviously hoping he goes as a player, not as a fan.
He and his teammates are 6 outs away from that happening. Somebody threw some debris on the field. Like a golf ball. Hunter flied out to start this 8th inning, 3 and 2. The count to Greg Olson. And ball 4 puts him on with 1 out.
The last time the Pittsburgh Pirates were in the World Series was 1979. Well, what about the Atlanta Braves? Actually, you mentioned earlier they've never been in a World Series, but the Boston Braves were in the series in 1914, 1948, and then they won behind the 3 victories of Lou Burdett in 1957. And it was Lou Burdett who lost the last game to the Yankees in '58. And will the Atlanta Braves be in the World Series this year?
Don't count on it yet. 1 on, 1 out for the Braves, and a fly ball for Bonds. And there are 2 out. Ron Gann to the left, Terry Pendleton on your right. They are hoping.
And next to Pendleton was Nick Osaski, who signed with the Braves years ago. He hasn't played with the Braves. There's Nick, suffering from vertigo. Big year in Boston, signed as a free agent, and because he couldn't play, the Braves had to go out and sign Sid Bream.
And it turned out well for everybody except Osaski. Ball 1 to Belliard with 2 out. Or excuse me, to Limpy. No, it is Belliard with 2 men out. Belliard has a base hit tonight and 4 total. Some more foreign matter on the playing field. That's a green weenie that Bob Prince, the late Bob Prince, instigated here in Pittsburgh. Aren't many smiles on the faces of these Pirate players. They won by 14 games over St. Louis to win the Eastern Division. Now they're down to their last 6 outs. Belinda misses inside to Belliard. Top of the order up in the 8th inning for the Pirates. Bobby Cox trying to take his team to Minneapolis. There's a strike to Raphael. Olsen on at first, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fourth Pirate pitcher this evening. The relievers have done well. That's out of play. The relief pitchers have pitched 7 innings and allowed only 1 run.
That was an RBI double by Brian Hunter off of Bob Walk in the 5th inning.
Merced holding against Olsen. The Atlanta bullpen has been quiet all evening. It stays 2-2. Whoever wins this one will travel to Minneapolis tomorrow. Could it be the 2 teams which finished last a year ago will end up in the World Series against each other? Another foul by Belliard.
Talked about it before. The Louisville team in the American Association back in 1889 finished last and then first the next year. Minnesota finished last year. They've already won the American League pennant. And will the same be true for the Atlanta Braves?
But don't count the Pirates out yet. They have 2 more whacks at the Atlanta pitching and another foul by the Braves shortstop. Stan Belinda struggles to get the final out here in the top of the 8th. David Justice. Things were going against him in the early going in this series. Ball 3.
Talk about the big 3 of the Pirates. David Justice only batting .200 for the series. But one thing about Ron Gann, even though Gann is not hitting for a high average coming into the game batting .250, but Gann has drawn a couple of key walks and stolen 7 bases.
Runner going with 2 out, ball 4. 2 walks in the inning by Belinda. And that allows Atlanta to bat their pitcher here in the top of the 8th inning.
That's the one thing about Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is probably the best base runner on either team. And not only has he had a dreadful series, but he hasn't drawn that many walks where he could utilize his speed.
And during the year, he walked more than 100 times.
107 times.
Now it's Smoltz, ball 1. Smoltz is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice and a walk. And LeValliere wants to see if he can help Belinda.
Not too much production from the Pirates' big 3. Only 3 RBIs. Buck 94 was the average with runners on base, 2 for 36, and with runners in scoring position, the big 3 for the Pirates, 1 for 17.
They will bat one more time in this game for certain. Ball 2 to Smoltz. Two on, 2 out. Now a strike. Once again, they go to work. Bob Patterson, the lefty, and Bill Lambert. Two and 2 on a power pitch by Belinda. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bobby Cox and his squad 6 outs away from the Fall Classic. And the top of the 8th comes to a close. 8 left for Atlanta. This was in the paper this morning. Is it prophetic? They say Atlanta is going to go. They may. And let's see if this crowd can crank it up on behalf of their club with the top of the Pittsburgh order coming up. These Pirates need a rally badly. They've been limited by a very strong John Smoltz for only 4 base hits. Merced, ball 1. Remember, during the season, 5 complete games for Smoltz. 1 for 3. And 2 out of 8. Ball 2. Smoltz has struck out 6. Struck out 7. And he has walked 1. 8th inning. There's a strike. 2 and 1. And down in the Atlanta bullpen, Alejandro Pena. And the left-hander, Mike Stanton. Into center. Gant is there. 1 out. And the Pirates down to their final 5 outs. This Sunday in the NFL Today, 12:30 Eastern Time. Perry, Leslie, and Pat, along with Greg Humble, give you the late NFL news and information, and a story about Barry Sanders. It's a big game, Detroit at San Francisco. It's at 12:30 Eastern. The NFL Day is the left fourth. The batter is Bell. 1 for 3. Only twice in 8 innings has Pittsburgh put the leadoff man on base.
And you can hear Smoltz popping the glove of Greg Olson all the way up here. So he is maintaining a good fastball through 7 1/3. Olsen telling him, throw the ball down the middle of the plate. That's what that meant.
But he can't, and it's 3-0. He fell behind, reset, came back and got him. 3-0 on Jay Bell. 3-1. The last two times the championship series won 7 games. Final game was a shutout. Danny Cox against the Giants in '87. Oral Hershiser against the Mets in '88. The count goes to 3-2. And a base hit for Jay Bell, his second of the night. And the Pirate fans have something to cheer about.
Well, things to cheer about tonight for Pirate fans have been sparse. Jay Bell's second hit tonight is 12th of the series, one shy of the record. And for him to tie the record, one would have to think that the Pirates have a chance to tie it. But they got a long way to go against John Smoltz.
Now we get around to Van Slyke with 1 on, 1 out. And a strike to him.
One for 10 with runners on base. That was his second at bat when he doubled in a run in game 1.
They play behind the runner at first, 1 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Hunter playing deep. And a foul by Van Slyke is strike 2. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Hit the ball hard twice. Waiting on deck, Bonilla. 1 on, 1 out, 0-2 to the batter. Jay Bell gives the Pirates a lift here in the bottom of the 8th inning as we check the Atlanta bench. Stays 1-2 to the Pirates center fielder.
Pirates have had 2 runners on base in only 2 innings. The first inning when both Merced and Bell singled, and then in inning number 4 when Bonds doubled and LaValliere was on an error.
And a picture from up above from Shamu from SeaWorld in Orlando. And Slyke becomes the second out of the inning, and he's 0 for 4. Smoltz gets his 8th strikeout.
When you're ahead as a pitcher, you have the luxury of going out of the strike zone for an out. And that wicked breaking ball of Smoltz gets Van Slyke.
And the woes continue to mount for the big hitters of Pittsburgh. Bonilla is up. Ball 1 to him. Is this the final at bat as a Pirate for Bobby Bonilla? He becomes a free agent at the end of the season. His club is trailing 4-0 in the 8th inning. He could cut the lead in half. There's ball 2.
And one would have to think that the Pirates stand a better chance to sign Bonilla if they go to the World Series. More revenue. They don't make it. I mean, he's already turned down $16.8 million over 4 years.
Broken bat, pop fly. Lemke going out and can't get it. First and third, 2 out. And the Pirates stay alive here in the 8th inning.
Bonilla jammed with the fastball. And this This ball standing in the triangle among Lemke, Gant, and Justice. It's a very interesting situation right now for Bobby Cox. Do you bring in the left-hander to face Barry Bonds, or do you take a chance with Smoltz still throwing well?
He's already made his decision, and the Pirate fans say, Barry, if you've ever done it, if you're ever going to do it now. But no, high in the air to left center to Mitchell. And the Pirates are still shut out after 8 innings, 4-0. They have left 8.
Inning, 4-0. 2 on with 2 outs in the 8th, and watch the reaction of John Smoltz. A fly ball to left center, and Smoltz saying, come down, ball. Barry Bonds is now 0 for his last 22, a span covering 2 years in postseason play, and that ties him with Gene Tennis. That's consecutive hitless at-bats with runners on base. What a nightmare these last 2 years have been for Bonds.
It's an awesome figure. As a result of that and a failure of others, Pittsburgh takes the game into the 9th inning, trailing 4-0. And it will be the 2nd inning of work for Stan Belinda. Some Atlanta fans are here. And Belinda will pitch to Mitchell. First at bat for the Braves outfielder. Smoltz just went through the big part of the batting order. That's strike 2 to Keith Mitchell. Mitchell batting in the leadoff spot after replacing Lonnie Smith. Hits it foul off the end of the bat, and Merced can't get to it. That's the way everything has been in this game, just a little out of reach for Pittsburgh.
If you think that chant's loud here in Pittsburgh, what must they be doing in Atlanta?
They've enjoyed the evening till now. Ball 1 to Mitchell. The attendance this evening, 46,932. And a strikeout to start the Atlanta ninth.
In the bottom of the 9th, Steve Buechele, Mike LaValliere, and Jose Lind are due up. Gary Varsho is the left-handed pinch hitter, left for Jim Leyland. Lloyd McClendon, Gary Reedus, and Don Slaught all hit right-handed.
That was a happy year for Jim Leyland. Out of play by Pendleton, strike 1. Won the East by 14 games. Took a lead of 3 games to 2 in this playoff. Became a father for the first time here a few days ago. But this is a crusher for him till now. Pendleton is 1 for 4. Jim Leyland has been terrific, along with Bobby Cox, as we have dealt with the 2 managers with regard to interviews before the games and after the games. A couple of classy gentlemen. One of them will bite the dust tonight. 2-2 to Pendleton. The hits are even in this game. Atlanta has all of the runs. Belinda in his second inning of work. He walked 2 in the 8th, but got away with it. He's fanned 2 since he's been in there. Foul, Smiley, walk, and Roger Mason to the mound. 3 runs against Smiley, 1 against Bob Walk. Pendleton stays up there with the 2-2 count. Tim, I guess if you ask the Braves player who the leaders were on this club, they'd include Terry on the list.
Terry Pendleton, Sid Bream, Ron Gant, certainly. The real strengths of this ball club, however, they're pitchers.
Into left center field, and Bond shags it, grabs it, 2 out.
And defense and pitching go hand in hand, and that's what John Sherholtz, the general manager of Atlanta, and Bobby Cox decided that if they have good pitching, you got to get good defense behind them, and that's why they signed Sid Bream and Terry Pendleton and backed them up with Belliard to back up the likes of John Smoltz, Charlie Lee Brandt, and you also saw Steve Avery. Tommy Glavine could win the Cy Young Award.
Bobby Cox has a lot of pitching. If they get to Minnesota, Glavine is the most likely starter. Most people feel that no matter the outcome of this game in this series, this pitcher, Steve Avery, will be the MVP of the playoff. It would be tough to dislodge him. The batter is Gant. Sacrifice fly, a single, walk, stolen base, lined out to center. Batting with 2 out. And the count goes to 3-0. If he loses this batter, they might get Belinda out of there. Strike called. I was surprised that Gant wasn't swinging. Bob Patterson is down in the bullpen for the Pirates. With an eye on David Justice. He's on deck. 3-2. A 3-run first might turn out to be decisive. It certainly put the Braves in a wonderful position this evening. Until now, John Smoltz has taken advantage of it. Off the glove of Belinda to Leand, and we're headed for the home half of the 9th inning. The Atlanta Braves are 3 outs away from the World Series. 4-0 the score. Buechele, LaValliere, and Leand are due up. Here as we look down from Shamu. It'll be a busy Braves bench. John Smoltz has gone to the mound to try to make it a complete game. The Pirate fans and their bench imploring the hitters in this inning to get something done. Smoltz 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's allowed 6 hits. Buechele is 0 for 3. He leads it off. Here we go to the bottom of the 9th. And ball 1. Smoltz gave up 2 hits in the 8th inning. Pittsburgh has left 8. Ball 2, and Olson slows it down. Bobby Cox and Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, anxiously looking on. pitches quiet at the moment. Bouchel, LaValliere, and Lind are due up. Back with a strike comes John Smoltz, 2-1. In the bullpen, Stanton the lefty, Pena the right-hander. 2-2. Smoltz with that high riding fastball makes it 2-2. Braves got 3 in the first and a run in the 5th, and Hunter is driven in 3 of them. Down goes the leadoff man. He foul-tipped it, and he's still alive. Just got a piece of it. Olson came up with it. Tim McCarver has left the booth. He's down in the locker room area. Ball into the dirt, and Olson tried to trick the umpires. You can't trick those fellows. A foul keeps it 2-2. And by the way, these umpires have been under the gun. There have been a lot of extremely difficult calls to make in this playoff, and they have done superb work. Bouchel to center for Gant. 2 outs away for the Atlanta Braves. There is Barry Bonds. May not get a chance to hit again this year. Across the way, a little more elation. Juan Berenguer and Mark Grant in the forefront. Smoltz headed for the wire. The batter, LaValliere, out of play. LaValliere has a hit, a walk, and he's reached on an error. Strike. Only twice in this game did the Pirates put the leadoff man on. LaValliere trying to start an uprising here for the Pirates. High in the air again. And the right fielder, Justice, has it for the second out. And a smile crosses his face. Happy now, and he might be ecstatic in a moment. There are 2 out, and Jose Lind is the last hope of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 4-0 Atlanta. Out of play. Atlanta had the franchise since 1966 in Georgia. They have yet to win a National League pennant. They were knocked out in the '82 playoffs. This is the closest they have come since. From last to first and 1 out away from a trip to Minneapolis. 2 out, nobody on. And that's strike 2, and now victory is 1 strike away for Bobby Cox and his Atlanta team. It's still 0-2. 46, almost 47,000 here. Plenty of smiles now with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th. 0-2 to the batter. And to the first baseman, Hunter. And that's it for Atlanta. They won last night. They won this evening. And John Smoltz has pitched Atlanta into the World Series. Talk about a Cinderella story. The Braves finished last year. They beat the Dodgers by a game. They fell behind the Pirates 3-2. Compared to the Braves, Cinderella wore boots. We'll show you more of the celebration.
Damn it, Bobby.
We'll have the trophy presentation. There's Bobby Cox, manager of the pennant-winning Atlanta Braves. They won it here tonight, 4-0. And they beat the Pirates 4-3. The Atlanta Braves have won the National League pennant for 1991. And they're the first team to have 3 shutouts in a championship series. No doubt that their pitching did it for them. Here's the final out of the game. To Brian Hunter. And what did the Atlanta pitcher think of that last out? How exciting can it be? Here comes Olson. Down Tim McCarver for the trophy.
All right, Jack, obviously a jubilant clubhouse, and I am with National League President Bill, who will make the trophy presentation to Ted Turner, the owner of the Atlanta Braves. Bill?
Along with Ted, we have Bobby Cox, also John Smiley, Ted. I know it's been a great year for you. I'd like to present you this Warren Giles Trophy for the great year you had here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bill. We accept this on behalf of the players, the coaches, and all the front office people and the fans of the Atlanta Braves.
Ted, you purchased the club in 1976. Did you think it'd take this long?
Well, it'd be sooner, but better late than never.
Bobby Cox, you had an opportunity to win back in 1985 with the Toronto Blue Jays. You were up 3-1, a bitter pill to swallow, losing to Kansas City. What's this so special, huh?
Well, I mean, it was tough to lose 3-1. We were down 3-2 here, and we felt we could come back. We felt we had a pitch hitting it all. We probably win some ball games, and it's very special coming from last place last year, rebuilding, and John putting the club together this winter and going out and do it. We thought we had a fine ball club in the spring, and I told him to ask me how good it was in August. We were still kicking in August, and we end up winning it.
Remarkable for young pitchers to shut out the Pittsburgh Pirates in this ballpark 3 out of 4 times.
It's almost impossible, to be honest with you, and they led the league in hitting, and it would look as if we led the league in pitching, but we didn't, but we were close.
John Sherholtz, your first year with the Atlanta Braves. What do you do for an encore?
We're going to try to do this again. We're going to enjoy this now. We've got the best owner and the best manager in baseball and the best organization. Stan Kasten, Bobby Cox, Ted Turner, everybody worked their hearts out, and I'm so delighted for this team and organization.
To make the Toronto-Kansas City connection, you were the general manager of the Kansas City Royals in 1985. Why is this year so much different and so special?
In fact, I told Bobby, I said, Bobby, you've got 2 important road wins coming after what happened in Toronto. Let's get them here in Pittsburgh, and he got us.
We will be right back at the Atlanta Braves clubhouse, the National League champions, right after this.
Braves won it. They are the champions of the National League with a 4-0 win here tonight. Moments ago, Andre Joyce had an opportunity to visit with Jim Leland.
Jim, obviously a disappointing moment. Is there any way to put into words what you and your players are going through right now?
No, I don't think so. I think, first of all, you tip your hat to the Atlanta Braves. I think that's how you handle it. You know, this is getting a little rough for me. I had to do it last year, and I'm certainly very disappointed. But I think, to me, the only way to handle it is they are definitely the legitimate champions because, you know, after we won 2 in a row down in Atlanta and came back home, we had to win 1 at home, and they had to win 2 in our ballpark. They did it, and like I said, they're a legitimate champion. John Sherholtz, Bobby Cox, coaches, you know, the players. What a great performance and what a great story for baseball from last place to the National League pennant. So I tip my hat to them. We didn't get it done. We certainly had our chances. We had a little edge, I felt, coming home, but we didn't do the job.
I was going to ask you, you were up 3-2 with 2 chances to win it, but you didn't seem to think that you did have much of an edge.
Well, you know, when you got Avery coming back and you got Smoltz, tough day, and that's what I told everybody in Atlanta. I think we had a slight edge coming home because, you know, you figure you ought to be able to win 1 game in your park, and we should have been able to, but we didn't get it done. And like I said, there's no excuses here, and you know, you tip your hat to the opponent. They earned it, and like I said, legitimate champion, and I tip my hat to them.
Is it a little tougher to take than last year?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be a martyr and credit everybody on the other side for a great job. It's tough. I'm very disappointed. I really felt that we could do it and we would do it, and it's that simple. And like I said, I don't have any regrets. I hope that my players don't have any regrets, and that's the only thing I ask coming into this thing.
Well, you said throughout the week that it's been a great series to watch, and we thank you for being so gracious throughout the series, and especially tonight.
Well,
we appreciate it.
Well, that's all part of it.
And that's from the Pittsburgh side.
All right, Andrea, thank you very much. I am with Jim Janowiak, who is the National Sales Truck Merchandising Manager for Chevrolet, and he will present the Most Valuable Player trophy to Steve Avery. Jim?
Thanks, Tim. And congratulations, Steve. On behalf of Chevrolet, I'd like to present you with the Chevrolet MVP Award, as well as a set of keys to a brand new Chevy Astro van, which will be donated in your name to the charity of your choice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Steve, it's hard to believe that only 3 years ago you were pitching in high school, right?
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit different world out here, but I just got to say hi to everyone back home, especially to my fiancée, Heather.
What was your approach to the Pittsburgh Pirates? What did you want to do that is the main reason for your success? Tell us.
You know, just what we've been doing all year long, being aggressive, going right after them, and getting ahead, throwing strikes. And, you know, they got such a great hitting lineup. You really just got to go after them and be aggressive.
And how about the Minnesota Twins? You're obviously looking forward to that this weekend.
I haven't really started thinking about that yet, but I'm sure come tomorrow we'll be talking about it a little bit more.
All right, we will return to a soggy Three Rivers Stadium right after this message and a word from your local stations.
7 of the 1991 National League Championship Series is brought to you by Toyota and their quality line of 1992 cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. Allstate, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by Dollar Rent-A-Car, right on the airport, right on the money, with over 1,300 worldwide locations.
Atlanta won it here, and it's a very quiet ballpark in Pittsburgh. For Tim McCarver and Andrea Joyce, Jack Buck saying so long from Three Rivers Stadium. 4-0 Atlanta. CBS Sports coverage of the 1991 World Series gets underway Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern with Game 1 as the Twins host the Atlanta Braves.